Basant is one of the oldest and most colorful festivals of South Asia, celebrated to welcome the arrival of spring after the long and cold winter months, and for centuries it has been a symbol of happiness, hope, renewal, and love for nature, especially in regions like Punjab, Lahore, Delhi, and nearby areas, where people waited eagerly for the season when flowers bloom, trees grow new leaves, and the land turns green and golden with mustard crops. And the word Basant itself comes from ancient traditions that mark the change of seasons, showing how deeply connected human life has always been with nature, farming, and the rhythm of the earth. Because in earlier times, most people were farmers who depended on good weather and healthy crops, and spring meant new life, new food, and new chances for survival. So Basant was not only a festival, but also a sign of relief and gratitude. And as the season arrived, people dressed in yellow clothes to match the color of blooming flowers and bright sunlight, yellow being a color of joy, energy, and warmth. And homes were decorated with flowers, rooftops were cleaned, and families prepared special foods like sweet rice, halwa, and other traditional dishes to share with relatives, neighbors, and friends, while children waited excitedly for kite flying, which slowly became the most famous symbol of Basant, filling the sky with hundreds of colorful kites moving freely in the wind, creating a beautiful scene that brought people together regardless of age or background. And during the Mughal era, Basant reached its cultural peak, especially in Lahore, where emperors, poets, musicians, and common people all celebrated together. And historical records show that even Mughal kings wore yellow clothes and watched kite flying from palace rooftops, while poets wrote verses about spring, love, and beauty, and musicians played songs that celebrated nature and new beginnings, making Basant not only a seasonal event, but also a cultural celebration of art, poetry, and human emotion. And over time, Basant became deeply rooted in local traditions, passing from generation to generation as a symbol of unity and shared happiness. Where families gathered early in the morning, rooftops became meeting places, laughter filled the air, and the sky became a shared canvas of colors, reminding people that life can be joyful even after hard times, because winter often represented difficulty and sadness, while spring represented hope and change. And even in modern times, despite challenges, restrictions, and changing lifestyles, the memory and spirit of Basant continue to live in stories, songs, and hearts, especially among older generations who remember the sound of drums, the smell of traditional food, and the excitement of shouting when a kite was cut, showing that Basant is more than just a festival. It is an emotion, a memory, and a cultural identity that teaches people to celebrate nature, happiness, and togetherness. As Basant traditions continued to grow over the centuries, the festival slowly became a powerful symbol of community life, where social barriers felt lighter and people interacted more freely. Because rooftops were open to everyone, neighbors visited each other without formal invitations, and the joy of kite flying created friendly competition mixed with laughter, music, and celebration. And in many homes, women prepared food together, sharing stories, songs, and memories, strengthening family bonds and friendships, while children learned cultural values without realizing it, simply by watching elders celebrate nature with respect and happiness. And poets played a major role in shaping the emotional side of Basant, writing verses that compared spring to youth, love, and hope, often describing blooming flowers as symbols of new beginnings and fresh chances in life. and these poems were recited in gatherings and festivals, helping Basant become deeply connected with literature and art, especially in Punjab, where folk songs and dances celebrated farming life and seasonal change. And farmers welcomed Basant because it marked a critical stage in crop growth, especially mustard fields that painted the countryside in bright yellow, creating landscapes that looked almost magical. And this natural beauty inspired painters, singers, and storytellers who passed down stories of spring as a blessing from nature. And even religious scholars in different eras acknowledged Basant as a cultural celebration rather than a ritual, recognizing its role in strengthening social harmony and emotional well-being. And as time moved forward into the colonial period, Basant remained strong despite political changes, because festivals connected people to their roots in a time of uncertainty, and kite flying became not just a game, but a peaceful escape from daily struggles, where people looked up at the sky instead of focusing on hardship. And after independence, especially in Pakistan and India, Basant continued as a symbol of identity and tradition, particularly in Lahore, which became known around the world for its Basant celebrations, attracting tourists, photographers, and cultural lovers who wanted to experience the colorful skies, lively streets, and joyful atmosphere. And for many people, Basant became associated with childhood memories, where the excitement of buying new kites, preparing strings, and planning strategies for kite battles created unforgettable experiences. And even those who did not fly kites enjoyed watching the sky, listening to music, and feeling connected to something larger than themselves. And as cities modernized and life became faster, Basant remained a reminder to slow down and appreciate simple joys like fresh air, sunlight, and human connection, showing that festivals are not just events, but emotional anchors that help people stay grounded. And although modern challenges such as safety concerns, environmental issues, and changing regulations affected how Basant was celebrated, its spirit never truly disappeared, because traditions live not only in actions, but in stories, memories, and shared emotions. And for many families, Basant stories are told again and again, keeping the festival alive in hearts even when skies are empty, proving that Basant is a living memory, not just a date on a calendar.